Wir sind aus Sternenstaub. In unseren Augen warmer Glanz. Wir sind noch immer nicht zerbrochen. Wir sind ganz. Du bist vom selben Stern. Ich kann deinen Herzschlag hören. Du bist vom selben Stern. Wie ich. Weil dich die gleiche Stimme lenkt. Und du am gleichen Faden hängst. Weil du dasselbe denkst. Wie ich.
Okay, so as I mentioned before, my player's pass for my club team here came last Saturday, but I was out of town, so I couldn't play that weekend. So this weekend was my first official game. I played in 2 other games, but they weren't like official games, so they didn't like count for a record and all that jazz. So this was my first official game. And the team we were playing was about 2 hours away in a village on the Bodensee. And the Bodensee is not actually a sea, it's actually a lake, but it's a really, really big lake. Like, no joke, it has 3 countries on around it. Mostly Germany, but I think also Switzerland and Austria. But anyway, so yeah, that's where we were today. So my position today, well, okay, I started out playing kind of a defensive center mid. But after a couple minutes into the game, the coach was like, okay, Katrina, change of plans. You see number 11 over there? Okay, and number 11, very tall, pretty good soccer player, playing center mid on the other team, kind of making the game generally difficult for us. So he says, Katrina, I want you to stick to number 11. I want you to follow her around, stick to her like glue. I want you right there on her. If she goes to the bathroom, I want you to go to the bathroom with her. You know how that works. You know, stuff like that. So yes, this was my new assignment. And at first she was kind of like, okay, whatever, I got this. This girl is not a challenge or a threat or anything. So she just keeps playing as normal. Except I did my job, and you know, I started, you know, intercepting passes to her and cutting her off from the play and just, you know, doing my job. And it started to really get under her skin. Like, you could tell, like, it started out as just kind of being annoyed. And then you could tell she was getting frustrated. And by the end, I would say she was almost angry. Just, like, not actually angry, but just kind of like, whatever. Just, you could tell she was like, she started being really physical. And she was already a little bit physical to begin with. And that's one of the reasons my coach had me on her, because I don't mind being physical. But like, she started really like pushing me around. I mean, it wasn't a problem, but you could tell she was ticked off. Or irritated. Irritated, that's a good word. And at some point she stopped being irritated and kind of developed this mentality of, okay, I see you're sticking to me. I'm going to lose you. And so whenever we would be, you know, like running to wherever. Oh, and also, because she was playing center mid, this girl was literally all over the entire field. The entire field. And I had to follow her around everywhere. Ugh. But anyway, so she decided she was going to try to lose me. Like for example, at one point, and just like doing kind of weird things. At one point, the ball went out of bounds out the end of the field, and the goalie went to go get it. And you know, of course, we can't play, so everybody's just kind of standing around. And you know, during this, she just like takes off in some random direction. And of course, you know, it's my job to follow her, so I take off too. Because, like, it was really easy to tell whenever she was about to, like, start running or, like, go faster. It was kind of easy to tell what she was going to do. Just saying. So, you know, I take off right after her, and she just, like, randomly stops and changes direction. So, of course, I do too. And, you know, we're running, and she just randomly changes direction again, and just all across the middle of the field. And during this time, the goalie is, you know, going to get the ball because it's gone down a hill, so it's taking her a little while. And so everybody else on the field is just watching us run around the field. Like, they're basically just watching me chase her around. And at some point, I just was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. So I just start laughing as I'm chasing her around the field. And then she starts laughing. And then I guess she realized just how completely ridiculous it was. Because, you know, it's not even like the ball was in play. So she finally stopped. But, like, and she did, like, stuff like that for a while. And eventually, and you could tell when she got tired. Because she just kind of gave up. Like, it was like, okay, clearly you are at least my equal, if not better. I can't shake you. She just kind of gave up. Like at one point, because she was easily their tallest player by a good bit. So, you know, for throw-ins, they would try to get the ball to her, they would try to throw the ball to her so she could, like, flick it on as a header. And for throw-ins, at the beginning, you know, at the part where she was like, you know, no challenge, whatever, she would just, you know, go and do her normal thing. And then towards, as it went on, she would kind of stand off to the side and then try to make a run in, which was even easier to intercept. But, you know, she was trying to move around. Kudos to her. But by the end, at the point where she gave up, like, one of her teammates was throwing in the ball and was like, hey, what are you doing over there? Why aren't you over here? And the girl, number 11, was just like, I can't! And she just, like, points at me. Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of how the rest of the game went. And at one point, she was taking a corner kick, number 11 was. Like, she always took all their corner kicks and penalty kicks and stuff. And I'm not sure exactly what happened. It was like the corner kick and the ball went out, and then, like, something happened, and then the ball came back to the goal, except all the other people were gone already. I'm not sure exactly what happened. But it was basically one of our players, our goalie, and their player who had the ball. And our player was just not in the right place. Luckily, our goalie managed to kind of bat the ball out. She couldn't catch it, but she managed to get it, you know, safely out of the way. Except it went back to this other girl. And so, of course, at this point, you know, everybody's racing towards the goal as fast as they can possibly go. And I was just the closest one. And there was clearly no way that our defender was going to be able to stop her. Her positioning was just wrong. Like, she was there, but her position was just, she just wasn't in the right place. And our goalie was out of the goal from having, you know, knocked the ball out of the way. So I'm running, and I slide into the ball. They didn't score. However, I did get this. Yes, I know, isn't it gorgeous? It was bleeding a lot. It's like not that bad. It's just kind of like all the skin got taken off. But it bled a lot. And at one point, one of the other girls on my team, her knee was bleeding also, and the referee noticed and was like, "Okay, you have to go off the field until it stops bleeding." And number 11 was like, "Hey, referee, she's bleeding too." Like, you can tell it was just like, "Please, make her leave me alone for a moment. All I need is a moment. Just make her leave me alone." So yeah, it was a good game. And the final score was 4-0 us. We won. Yay, soccer.